Good day, guys. My name is Nsieni. Welcome back to the channel. So yeah, in the last episodes or so, you probably saw the car. It's now completed. I did everything: the conversion, the swap from the DQ200 to a DQ250, swapped out the 1.8 TFSI engine for an S3 engine, from the facelifted Golf 7.5R. Yeah, and the car has been driving very, very well actually. There hasn't been any issues with the car whatsoever. Yeah, it's been moving, man. It's been driving. But however, I just thought maybe I should just do another gearbox conversion. And even though the DQ250 gearbox have been, it's been working quite well on the car. It hasn't given me any issues, any drivability problems whatsoever. It's handling all the power whatsoever. But yeah, in this episode, I actually want to do another conversion from a DQ250 this time around to a DQ381 from the facelift Golf 7.5R. So, um, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because I've never actually seen anyone do this kind of a swap before in the past. Because with this gearbox, it's a very fairly new gearbox on that. So in this episode, we will be doing that swap. I'll be showing you guys, running you through the steps, doing all the wiring. I might even do some recap on the DQ200 to a DQ250 swap. So let me show you. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing in today's episode. We will be converting it out from a DQ250 to a DQ381. Now, the 381 box is slightly different in terms of wiring, because it also has an hydraulic pump that lives on the side that has to be powered on as well. So I will be running you guys through the wiring changes, on how they differ on the DQ200 versus 250 versus the 381, how you can swap them around. So it might be a slightly longer video. Because I want to capture almost everything so that you guys have all the information as well that you guys need for this episode. So yeah, without further ado, let's get it. All right, so the way that I'm going to approach this, obviously, since now I'm running a DQ250 gearbox front wheel drive, what I'll do is I'll obviously strip everything out, the airbox, the intakes, do the drive shafts, both left and right, the wheels, obviously, I'll jack it up, support the engine underneath. I'll probably use a jack stand to hold it underneath because I don't have that bar, that crossbar that I can actually use to hook it up from this side to support the engine. So I'll just figure it a way so that I don't damage the engine mount on the other side, because I need to take out the gearbox mount that's underneath the battery and obviously the dog bone mount. So I'll probably be stripping up the entire front end, because I want to do it as clean as possible. Just take out the whole front, headlights, everything, the bumper, the radiator pack. Obviously, when you're taking a gearbox out, you don't actually need to do it, but for the sake of space, the thing is, I do not have a lift where I can actually raise the car up and then just to drop it from the bottom. I could, but it might take a bit of, I would say maybe swinging around of the box so that I can drop it down to the gearbox. But I don't want to, just stress myself. I'll just take the whole thing out so that I can also fit the 381 easily, because it is a slightly bigger gearbox than this. And obviously, another thing why I want to do it that way when I take off the entire front end is because I have to upgrade the coolant lines for the DQ381. They are slightly different from the DQ250, so I can't reuse what the DQ250 already has. On this side, however, from the radiator pack, this side on the right side of the car, going to the center, it's all exactly the same. But from this side, powering or going all the way to the gearbox is slightly different. They use different pipings as well. And the valve that lives on the top of the gearbox, that has to be moved onto this side, on the front side. So I need to buy a bracket for that, so that I can mount the valve onto the front instead of the top of the gearbox. So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. I'll strip out the whole entire front end, and then once I'm done stripping out the entire front end, support the engine, take the drive shafts out, take the wheels out, obviously, support the engine at the bottom, hook it up on the crane. I've got a crane there. I'll just hold the gearbox on the crane and then just make sure that I can move it and swing it out easily without damaging myself or the car itself. So, yeah, that's the approach that I'll take. So, let me continue. Let's start with the stripping, then yeah, let's get it. So I won't bother you guys by filming everything while I take the front end out. You probably saw in the first video of the swap. If you haven't, I'll leave the series down in the link in the in the bottom so that you can go and check it out when I did the whole entire S3 swap to the DQ250 and then up to this point. So yeah, I won't bother filming everything while I strip out the entire front end. I'll just cut to the clip where I have the box out.
A few moments later.
All right, so yeah, I just did everything off camera. The gearbox is now out. There's the front crash bar with the radiator pack. So yeah, the gearbox is all out. It's all removed. So I just had to support obviously the engine underneath, and then just drop it from the bottom, and then I pulled it out this way. So yeah, we're all done with the gearbox removal. The next step now is that I'll need to go and fetch the 381, and then from there just fit it back in there, and then yeah, we should be all good. So yeah, I'll be sending this one away, getting in favor with the DQ381, fit that one back in, do the coolant lines, the wiring for the 381, and yeah, everything else with the, obviously we need to do the selector as well. Everything else has to, on that other side remains the same, but the coolant line for this side will be different because obviously now the gearbox sizes are different, the shape is different. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing next. And then this little cooler, as I mentioned, I think in one of the videos in the past, on the 381, it actually sits on this bracket right here. So there's a bracket here where it sits on, and then you just bolt it up together, and then yeah, that's it really. Okay, let me go fetch the 381, and then yeah, come back and start fitting.
More moments later.
Right, just came back to fetch the DQ381. This is the box with the flywheel and the two drive shafts. Just want to clean it up a bit, and then yeah, tomorrow morning I'll fit this thing back in. All right, so yeah, it's the next morning. So yeah, yesterday in the evening I just spent some time cleaning up the DQ381 gearbox. Just make sure that it's all nice and clean, you know, all the dust and dirt and oils that it had previously or were removed or are removed. So yeah, this morning I'll just be fitting it back to the car. I'll try and fit it back to the car, and then do some service on it, change the oil. But I know the oil you should do it, you know, when you have to like normally do your basic settings, you know, make sure that it's all filled up to level. But I'll see how I can do it. Maybe I'll do it while it's outside the box, and then as I test the stuff, once I've done wiring it all up, then just double check the oil levels while it's nice and flat, because it's sitting on jack stands obviously, and the car is tilted like this, so I won't get an accurate reading of the oil level. It has to be level so that I can fill it up properly, or if I can top it up now, when I do the basic settings after, then I can just also then double check the oil levels while the temperatures are all good. But for now, let's see if we can get this thing done. And I must say that the DQ381 is a much painful gearbox to work on, especially when you remove the filters and stuff. You are going to definitely make a mess of everything. Let me show you. So this is the box. This is the 381 DQ381 gearbox, and as you can see, the oil filter, for some weird reason, VW decided to make it sit sideways facing there, whereas in the DQ200, 250, sorry, and on the 500, they actually sit at the top. So it's much easier to change oil on this, because last night while I was cleaning the box, I actually did remove the old oil filter, and then I drained the oil, and then yeah, it was a mess everywhere. So it just made a whole puddle of oil, and this is all the oil that came out. It's quite dirty. Looks like this gearbox has never had a service before, but yeah, hey, it's a good thing that I drained it. So I've got some oil there, some liquid moly oil that I'll top it up with. And then once I top it up with oil, as I was mentioning, I will just try and fill it up. A friend of mine is going to bring the oil filling thingy where you just plug it in underneath, and then you pump the oil in, and then once I'm done pumping it, just screw it back in and then fit it back into the car. It is quite a heavy gearbox, and must say it's a bit of a hard one to carry this thing, because it doesn't have proper anchoring points where I can actually hook it up on the crane and then pick it up. I just improvised on this side because I needed obviously to clean it up, but therefore I can't use this. I can't hook it up here to put it back into the car because this is where the gearbox mount sits, and I can't use this side because this side it needs to bolt on the engine side. So it's a very hard box to work with if you're working on jack stand. Honestly, like it's a pain. It's a pain. So the only thing that I'm even thinking of doing right now is to maybe use some ratchet strap around and then try and carry it with this crane, because I don't have that jack where I can put it underneath and then just pump it up and then lift it nicely upwards. Because yeah, that's a DQ381 for you. And on top of that, we need to also deal with wiring, because this now has an electrical hydraulic pump that sits here. So there's this plug that we need to retrofit back in. So that I'll show you shortly on how you do it. And then obviously I've got the other plug for the mechatronics as well. So I will, however, remove the transfer case so that I can carry this box easily and then put it back into the car. So need to make way over here on this car. Just make sure that I remove all of these plugs, and the old wiring has already been cut out, so I'll be showing you how to actually rewire all of this for the DQ381. And then obviously I need to put the flywheel back in, and then once the flywheel is back in, fit in the box, do everything else. And then the transfer case as well, this guy, since I'm gonna remove it, there's a spline bolt I think somewhere deep buried in there that I need to take out so that I can remove this. I've already taken out the 4 bolts that go here and then at the bottom, so I just need to take out the spline bolt out and then take this thing out, and then I'll need to also drain the oil that's inside this thing, because it takes a different type of oil than the gearbox itself. And this is the oil which you can go and buy for your transfer case. It's just a drain and fill, so it's a non-serviceable. You just drain it up and fill it up. So there's no service intervals according to VW. That at least that's what they said. But I'm gonna change it because again I don't know how old this thing is. And there's the part number, and it is an Excel oil. Yeah, there we go. It says Excel oil. It's for this guy. So yeah, you're welcome to take this part number. You can go and change it as well. So that's what I'll be doing now. I'll remove the transfer case from here, and then once I'm done removing this guy, drain the oil, and then see if I can ratchet strap this thing up and then carry it. I mean, like seriously, this is a pain of a gearbox to work on, like seriously. Alright, so the drain plug for the DQ381, it's this guy. So you can see the bolt is actually quite new. It's a new one that I have. So it's all fitted back, torqued up to spec as well. And then there's this other side on the side of the gearbox. So this side drains the mechatronics oil that lives underneath here. So it all comes out from this side. And then this is the other main bolt with the plastic tube inside. The what do they call it? I think it's the leveling thingy that helps you to tell you if your gearbox is at level, so in terms of oil. But yeah, take out that bolt, drain the oil, take out this bolt, drain the oil, and then it's all in. Once it's all empty, you can just top it up with the oil filler where you plug in the tube, pump it up, and then you should be all good. So let me take out the transfer case and then use the Excel oil to actually fill it back up again, and then yeah, continue from there. Okay, so for the transfer case, to remove this bolt inside the spline here, it's quite a long one, and I don't have the tool for that. Even though it's an 8mm socket thingy, but to have that long one that goes all the way into there, I do not have that tool. So what I did was I took off the breather, right, and then I took off the drain plug, which is this guy, and then I just tilted the box slightly, like so, and then allow all of the old oil to come off. I used the same bucket to catch it all out. It was quite dirty actually, the oil that was in there. And then once I was done, I just tilted it like that, and then used the the same bottle that I showed you, to just fill it all up with about 1 liter of oil, and then after that you will see it come out, and then you know that it's full. But I poured all 1 liter of it, and then if it's too much, it will breathe out with this and as you run the car. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I poured the whole 1 liter in the axle fluid, for the axle fluid inside this transfer case, and then yeah, I'm just waiting for the guy to come with the DSG filler, so that I can plug it in and just fill it up with oil, and then I'll do everything after I have plugged in the box back into the car. So to check the oil levels and everything, as I mentioned. But yeah, for now, the next step that I want to do is take this guy and put it in there. So I need to bolt in the flywheel, because that's what I need to start with first before I can actually put back the gearbox. So and it's quite a tight fit. I have to angle it like so that it goes in. But this box though, I've complained enough about it now. But anyway, let me continue trying to bolt this flywheel back in there, and then yeah, be with you guys shortly. Right, so I'm just fitting back the flywheel, and yeah, you can see working in jack stand, it's not the best of ideal workspaces. So I need to bolt this thing up. So I'm just finishing up one. You just need to take one of these. Normally you should reuse, you shouldn't reuse this, you should just buy new ones. These are one-time use bolts, but hey, I forgot to buy them, to be honest with you. And yeah, just apply some thread locker on these things, and then just tighten it back in. So just apply a tad bit, not too much, because this is the heavy duty thread locker. Apparently if you use too much, you won't be able to get this thing out in the near future, because yeah, flywheel can get damaged. So yeah, just apply a tad bit and then just bolt it back in. So all right, so I just fitted all the 8 bolts in here, and then yeah, they are nice and all the way in. So yeah, next step, let me grab my torque wrench and show you how much you need to torque this thing up to. All right, so now to torque this thing up, you need to do you need to torque them up to 60 Newton meters plus an additional 90 degrees. So so that's the torque spec according to the workshop manual. So you need one of these, and then you have to set it up all the way. I'm not sure if you will be able to pick it up, all the way up to, come on, focus, 56 here, and then just do another additional 4 Newton meters on this thing here. So it has to go to 56 and an additional 4, and then you just tighten it up with this little thing. And then obviously you need to have one of these. This is what do you call M10 thingy. It's an M10 spline. So yeah, you need one of these, and then you just obviously put it in, and then you just torque it. Now the space is a bit tight here, so now the problem, obviously, this whole thing will move. So there's another trick that I saw on TikTok. Just need these two, right? And then one of these hold, you put this guy in, and then one of these locks this thing up in place so that it doesn't move around. So you just place this one in here, and then you just tighten it up with this other one, so that it locks it up in place. So thank you TikTok for that. All right, so second attempt, tightened it up nicely. Now I think it's not solid, so let's torque it up. So 60 Newton meters, as I mentioned. So we just hold it, and then that's already at 60, and then you do it up nicely until it reaches 60. There we go, 60. So yeah, in terms of talking to the 90-degree, I had to do it standing up because I couldn't get a perfect angle while I was sitting down on the floor. So, yeah, it's all nicely topped up. Let's just continue with fitting the gearbox. Whew. Okay, so I first attempted to install the gearbox. With the transfer case inside of it, and it's just damn near impossible to do. So I thought maybe I could just swing it in an angle and try to put it in, but yeah, the subframe is in the way, and I don't want to drop the entire subframe in order to get this done. So I think now I'll just have to take the transfer case out. I just went and bought some. I just came back from the shop to buy some extensions, and this is what I'll use. So let me show you. Okay, because this thing, there's a bolt there inside that holds obviously this, and I didn't have the tool. So you can either buy that long one, that long piece one that just goes in. I think it's about 300 millimeters of it, but because I didn't have, I just went to Adenhof Machinery and then just bought this extension set, and then I used some of my toolbox set here in order for me to make this long extension. So I'll just insert it all the way in, and then just do the bolt. So yeah, let me try that. All right, transfer case is out, so it goes in there. So there's a, let me see if I can pull that bolt out. This is the little small bolt that has to go in, that tightens this thing into there. So yeah, I'm not sure if you have to if you can reuse this, or I need to buy a new one. But yeah, I think it would be safer to just get a new one. But yeah, let me see if I can now try again to get this box back in. Whew.
Many hours later.
Okay, finally the box is in. Ah, the DQ381 gearbox is now fitted back in. This is quite a difficult one to work with, guys. Like, I had literally had to ask guys from DLB Motorspec to come and assist me to fit this thing back in, because if you're gonna be doing this one-man show for the 381, I forget about it. Shit. So yeah, but the guys did come through, they helped me out, and then the box is now fully in. The drive shaft, I'll do that later. Also the what do you call this? The transfer case has been bolted back up again, and everything is all good. Yeah, now the next step that I need to do is just to finish up everything, do the wiring, um, do the drive shafts, and then the coolant lines, and then yeah, so I'll continue this job probably tomorrow. So yeah, catch you guys tomorrow.
The next morning.
Okay, so it's the next day. Let's just continue with a DQ381 swap. So in the last clip I showed you that I buttoned up everything. The guys from DLB assisted. Yeah, since now we need to continue, I'm just waiting for the dog bone mount or the pendulum support mount to come back from Audi, because I found out that they are different. The one that mounts on the 381 versus the one that you can mount on the 250 and the 200. So this is the dog bone mount, aka the pendulum support mount. So the holes here are slightly smaller for the bolts that go into the gearbox, and these are the two bolts that you need. So let me just take this out. So you see, these are much larger in size and they don't fit through this side, so I needed a new one, and I just ordered that. I just need to go pick it up. So this needs to go. I'm just waiting for that thing to come back. And then another thing that we need to do is the selector cable. So this is the current one that I have in my car, and you can see that there's a huge gap. It's short in size, so you need the one from the facelift cars. So either the facelift S3. I'm not sure if the Golf one would fit, but yeah, I would recommend just getting, if you're doing it on an Audi, get the Audi one. And I'm not sure if you can buy this thing separate, the cable alone separately. I don't know, but yeah, I need that. So I've got the shifter box here in the car. So this is the guy. This is off a facelift S3. So I need to replace the one that I have in my car with that one. So that means stripping out the interior, stripping out this part here, take out this panel, take this thing off, and then remove this piece out, and then just move everything out, and then I'll have access to the 4 bolts underneath, and might need to also get underneath, obviously, to take it down, to drop it down, and then remove the cable, and then just fit in the new one. So that's what I need to do next, while I've got some time, and then from there we can focus on doing the wiring. So let me start with that, just to see that cable selector box mechanism is the right one that's going to fit in here. And then once I'm happy with that, then yeah, we can continue. Right, so the pendulum support or dog bone mount for the DQ381 just turned up while I was busy filming, and then yeah, they called, and then they said, yep, come pick it up. So this is how it looks like for the DQ381. There's the part number if you're interested. That's the part number. And now you can see that this bolt goes easily through here, right? So whereas on this one, for the old one, this one is for gearboxes for DQ250 and the 200. I think you can reuse it on, yeah, you can reuse it on the DQ200 and 250. But yeah, see, this one doesn't fit here on this one. Perfect fit, and this one threads nicely on the DQ381 box. So yeah, that's the one that I'm gonna reuse. Obviously the long one is for that other side, and the short one is for here. And then there's another one there that bolts onto the subframe. And then yeah, let me quickly install this guy, and then we'll tackle the gear selector. All right, so to remove this mechanism, first I have to remove this trim, take this panel out for the MMR controller, and then there's some clips that are held on the side. You just pull it up, and then this lifts the whole thing with the cup holder there. So first step is to get this little leather part popped out, and then you can just untwist a bolt, I think, a plastic bolt underneath to release this cap, and then from there you can just grab this side and then pull it all off. I'll show you how. And then you need these plastic trim tools to just pry inside here so that you can pop it up. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put the installation of the gear selector on hold, simply because before I tried to continue removing mine, I decided to check the part number of this car, just to see what it says on it. And then it was exactly the same part number as the selector that I had or I got from the guy. So it being the same part number, even on the cable itself, it is exactly the same part number. So that means it's probably from a pre-facelift car as well. So it's not going to work on this car. It's still going to be too short. So I have sent it back. Spoke with the guy. I sent it back to him, and then I'll have to source one out at a later stage. So I called Audi to get the right part number for the facelift cars from 2017 up until 2021. Because those ones are for the DQ381. The one that I had is for the DQ200. So not going to work. So yeah, for now, let's continue out with other things. I think let's do the wiring. All right, so let's continue with the retrofit for the DQ381. So let's talk about the wiring differences that you would have to face when you're doing this kind of a conversion. So obviously this car came with a DQ200 gearbox, and it uses a different type of a wiring connector. So I did the swap to a DQ250, and that one now uses a round style, and then the old one uses a square type. So this plug here is from my old gearbox. It's for the DQ200, and then this one is from a DQ250. So completely different. They're not even plug and play. So to convert from this one to this one, both of these plugs have 9 wires each. Okay, so 2 powers, 2 grounds. They have a CAN bus high, CAN bus low. There's the park neutral switch, the speed signal sensor, and what do you call this other one? I'm forgetting one, but yeah, there are 9 in total. So let me just try and count. So 2 powers, 2 grounds, CAN bus high, CAN bus low, park neutral switch, speed signal sensor, and one I think is for the intermediate lock or something. Oh, sorry, terminal 15 voltage one. Yes, that's the one. So 9 in total for the 2 plugs, for the DQ200 and the DQ250. So to convert from one plug to another, obviously it's just a matter of swapping the pins around from this square one to the round one, and then it's a matter of just plugging it into your box and then test if we've got communication. And then once you're happy with that, then yeah, it's a matter of getting someone to code the system for you. However, on the DQ381, this is the plug for the 381. You can see slightly different to the DQ251 in terms of how they go both connect. And this one now has 7 wires instead of 9 wires. So there's only one power and one ground, and the other wires pretty much are the same, right? CAN bus high, low, terminal 15, park neutral switch, and the speed signal sensor. So to retrofit obviously from this, which means you will lose a power and you will lose one ground. But however, on the box itself, on the 381 box, it comes with an electrical hydraulic pump that sits on the side. That also needs to be powered. So obviously one power and one ground will have to go to that side and then link up the 2 remaining wires, which I think it's for the CAN bus high and CAN bus low wire. And then once you have that, then your circuit should be completed. So nice. In my case, I've already labeled the plug for the 381. It goes in there, and then now I just need to sort out this wiring. Can see it's already cut and spliced. So it's just a matter of joining these two and then making sure that I've got a good communication on this gearbox. Make sure that everything is all up and running and working and communicating with the car, and then from there I will try and get someone to come and code the system, the gearbox to the car, make sure that all the immobilizer stuff has been done, component protection has been done as well. Um, and then obviously test if it will go into gear. Obviously now the guy who sold me the other selector, he's a gearbox specialist. Shout out to Lesma for that. So he told me that you can just put the car into the position here and then just switch this lever into drive and then it should roll. So if I have done everything correctly, so I will be trying that once I'm done with the wiring changes. But for now, I need to sort out these things. And another thing that you need, if I can just, so this plug here obviously is for the hydraulic pump that needs to go onto the back side. And then you can just grab that other one. And then now this is a new one as well for the DQ381. So I need to find a way to retrofit this plug. You can see it has one massive power and the ground and the can wire. So this one plug plugs into this side like so, and then this other side goes to the back of the hydraulic pump at the back side. So it's a matter of just seeing how I can route the wires and then make sure that it goes all the way down to the plug that side. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing next. But yeah, wiring is always tiring, but it has to be done. I have to get this thing wired up, get that coded up, and then see how far I can get with this. So let me put it on time lapse and then just solder these wires up. So let's continue with the retrofit. All right, so done with converting the wires. Obviously now I need to solder all of these things up and then tape it up nicely. It's all just a mess because I just want to plug it in for now so that I can just test if I'm getting communication to the box. And then these other wires run all the way to the back of the electronic hydraulic pump for the DQ381. So I just obviously had some of my old wires that I just spliced and joined and extended the wires to go there. So I just need to do the same for the valve, obviously, and now need to trim all of this, take it out, and then move it to the front side. So it's just to untape here. I don't have to cut anything for this. I just untape this and then move it there and then tape it all back up again. So next step now, let me grab the battery. I'm quite nervous about this part now. Let me grab the battery, plug it in, switch on the ignition, and hopefully I will get communication to the box because, yeah, this is different. This is unlike the DQ250 where it's just easy to do, but this is first time, and the plug obviously is plugged in. I plugged it all the way to the back side. Yeah. All right, wish me luck. Now, obviously, the easiest way to test communication, plug one of these, OBD11 or VCDS or ODIS or whatever diagnostic tools that you have. See if you can access the transmission. If you can, you're good. If you can't, revisit the wiring. So I'm gonna need this. And let me just grab the battery and plug it in. Right, just hooked up VCDS just to double check, since obviously OBD11 showed that I do. So if I hit here, it should be able to talk to the car, to the gearbox. So okay, it's busy loading. There we go, DQ381 OCG, and then I can obviously read fault codes and stuff. Beautiful. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I haven't touched the DQ381 swap, mainly because I've been busy, but yeah, we're going to be continuing now. The next step that I needed to do, that I need to do actually now is to get the gearbox coded up. I've installed the drive shafts in the front. Obviously they come from the facelift S3, because the gearbox obviously is from that same car anyway. So I had to take the drive shaft flywheel. You saw me bolt the flywheel previous clips back. Those I did off camera. The shafts are all in, nicely aligned, and the gear selector, let me actually show you. Okay, so obviously I've got the battery on charge because now we need to obviously finalize the coding. So the gear selector doesn't fit properly. The cable is too short. I think I did mention it. So I have pretty much ordered a new selector for the facelift S3s, which uses the DQ381. Because this one is shorter in length, about like that much. So I couldn't find one locally in SA, so I had to ship it out all the way from the international market. I bought it online, so it's coming, should be here in a couple of days, I don't know when. But the gear selector, I just left it unplugged and unbuttoned in the meantime. Yeah, until it comes back, then I'll worry about that at a later stage. But for now, we need to get the coding done. Yeah, Dennis from Pax Auto, he's on his way. He's going to be doing the coding soon, and then make sure that at least the car is happy. Component protection has been lifted out, and at least it can engage gear. Obviously now you can engage gear. Apparently someone told me that if I release the park lock mechanism on the gearbox so that it doesn't lock the wheel when you turn it, you can use the selector and put it in drive, and then that obviously will then talk to the mech unit and then engage driving. So I'll test that once Dennis has done his coding and once he's finalized and happy with it, just to make sure that we can at least turn, the wheels can turn, and then from there it's a matter of just buttoning up everything from the front. Obviously you still need to do the wiring as well and just tape it all up and then route it all the way down to the other electrical part for, I think it's the electric, it's not the electric diff, but yeah, that hydraulic pump thing. Yeah, and then from there we just continue.
A few moments later.
Right, guys, just arrived. Welcome, Dennis. No, he's gonna be finalizing the coding. Let's hope it works. Fingers crossed. So he's just taking up his stuff here. But yeah, you never know with these things, guys. So might work, might not work. It's trial and run, test and see if it's gonna work. But anyway, let's let him do his thing. Yeah, we're done. It's day 2 actually. We fought with this gearbox for 2 days. We're dealing with coding, but eventually we're done. Yeah, man. Thanks, Dennis, for coming through. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I happy now.
It was a struggle, but we managed to come alright with this car.
Yeah, the 381, man.
Yeah. So that was a 381 conversion.
It's now done.
DQ250. So it's now up and running.
Up and running. Now the next step, I need to put everything down. You see, it's even dark outside, but yeah. Yeah, we're gonna call it a day. I'll continue with the build the next in the morning or whatever. But yeah, thank you, Pex. I'll leave his links in the description. Sorry for the bad lighting. Yeah, the links will be in the description, guys. Reach out to him for DSG coding and stuff like that. But yeah, see you in the morning.
Bye, guys.
All right, so last night, Dennis from Pax Auto, he came in and finalized the coding for the gearbox. So the gearbox is now up and running. So yeah, the next step that I need to do next is to finish up doing the wiring. Just solder up everything from here all the way, and then tape it up all the way going down there, and even on this side as well. Once I'm done with this, the next step that I'll do is tackle the coolant line system. I just need to take this guy and then obviously bolt it into its place here, and then these are the coolant pipes that you actually need to do up if you're going to be doing a DQ381. Okay, so if you have maybe an S3 from 2013 up until 2016, the pre-facelift, then that side, the right side, you do not need to change anything on the pipe work. Everything up until this pipe and this lower radiator pipe, so even the top part, so you don't need. But here on the right side, sorry, on the left side, this is the left here. So on the left side, yes, you have to update some pipes, because the gearbox, obviously the cooler pipes at the top are situated different. This thing is now at the front and not longer at the top of the gearbox, so obviously now that needs some cooling. Yeah, so this is the pipes. So this small one will go obviously into there and then connects up there and then eventually down there, so that completes that circuit. And then this one, this one is for the top of the gear oil cooler. It sits at the top, it's that small little pipe. And then this one, where's the part number? There's the part number. So this one connects here on the lower side of things, and then it goes there. So once it goes there, it then meets up with this plastic pipe. So this used to be metallic pipe. This used to be a metal pipe before, but VW decided to make it a plastic pipe, which is stupid really. But anyway, so this then goes and connects here. There's a bolt mounting point here at the top, and then this other side goes and mounts at the top. I think it bolts here where the starter is, so it bolts there. Let me just see if I can do it one-handed. So yeah, there we go. So that bolts there, and then that goes and bolts over there. So the pipe obviously goes into the gearbox, and then this one stays there, and then this one comes and bolts here like so, and then that one goes and connects into there, and then obviously that other small pipe there, and then eventually up there. So this one goes into the radiator and then all the way up to this side at the top of the gear oil cooler. So that's how the coolant lines are routed, if you are interested. And yeah, that's what I'll do next. But first I'll need to tackle this, so I'll just quickly do it off camera, and then yeah, I'll join you guys shortly once I'm done, and then I'll explain to you what I've done. Alright, so that's about it really. So coolant lines on the cooler is connected now. So this one goes all the way underneath there, all the way down, and then it goes and connects onto the lower pipe, and then this one then branches out and then connects obviously at the top of the radiator. And then this small one goes here and then routes all the way down and then into the valve, and then outside here, and then into the thermostat, and then all the way to the upper pipe here. And then that's pretty much how you complete the DQ381 cooling lines. And yeah, I mean, really from here it's just actually a reversal of removal, you know, putting back everything how it was. The crash bar, the radiator pack, you know, connect the aircon lines, upper radiator, boost pipes, charge pipes, the lot, and then pretty much we can put the thing on the ground. So yeah, this thing has been swapped, coated in, taped up nicely. So I tried to do a much cleaner job in terms of taping it. So I need to obviously route the wiring properly so that it goes and plug at the back there, and then the other one obviously is already plugged in at the front. So yeah, it's already plugged in. So yeah, it's a matter of just reversing everything. Take that guy and then put it in the front, pressure test the system, make sure that it's holding coolant obviously, and then from there that's about it really. So yeah, we get cracking and just put it all back.
The next morning.
All right, there she is, all buttoned up, now back into the floor again. All 4 tires are on the ground. The car is now fully converted to a DQ381. So yeah, it's all good now. The car's driving, it's all coded up. Dennis from Pax Auto Tech came through, he did the coding. I did most of the wiring and, you know, the hardware part of things. Also DLB guys also did come and help out in terms of fitting the box, because this DQ381 is a pain to work with and it's a pain to fit it. It's such a tight space. Other guys say you have to actually drop the entire subframe to make your life easier, but I didn't do that, so I made my life a lot harder than it should have been. But yeah, it's all nice and buttoned up. The next thing that I need to do is just to take it out for a nice drive, and then yeah. Oh, another thing that I need to also finish up is the gear selector. I'm still waiting for it. I'll do that some other time soon as it comes back. I don't know when it's gonna arrive, but soon as that comes back, then I'll just fit the gear selector back into the car, and then all should be well. At least I can drive, provided that I make sure that the gearbox is unlocked on the lever itself at the top of the gearbox. I just have to make sure that I have that unlocked, and then when I put it in drive, it then can engage the tires, and then I can drive the car. It goes forwards and backwards and everything. So yeah, that's it. It's all in. It just needs a clean. I mean, it's been gathering dust. Look at this. I know you keyboard warriors out there, you're gonna kill me for this, for leaving it dusty like this. So I'll make sure that I give it a nice clean. Don't worry about it, guys. It's gonna be cleaned up and then looking good as well. So yeah, there we go. Project DQ381. It's all done and dusted. All right, yeah, I'm done with the project. Just some few touch-ups that I need to do, obviously, as I mentioned, like the gear selector, that I'll do when it arrives. I don't know when, but there's still a lot to do on this car. So yeah, one of the things that I need to also do is the exhaust. If you watched my POV drive after the actual swap of this car, you probably heard me saying that the exhaust is a bit too quiet, obviously because it's still a standard A3 exhaust that's in here with a massive resonator underneath. So I got a resonator from a Golf 7.5R. I will try and fit that and see if it's gonna improve the sound a little bit. I'll see as I go along, but yeah, that's from there. Yeah, it's a matter of just doing some other upgrades on the car, because I've got a lot of plans, and I haven't even actually taken the car on a proper road trip. I think I will in fact, I should take it on a proper nice drive and then just, you know, see how it's behaving, how it's performing after all of these modifications. And then as I go along, just, you know, incrementally upgrade the car. And yeah, guys, do give me some tips in the comment section on what it is that you want me to do on the car after the swap has been done in here. So what else can I add, and you know, to make the car better than it is. But obviously, exterior wise, I still want to keep it as a sleeper, standard A3 on the outside, but yeah, beefed up everywhere else. So yeah, you guys let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, I also have the plan, you know, plans of my own on what I want to do on the car. But yeah, as we go along, then we will be, you know, I will be documenting everything for you guys as well. So you better make sure that you are subscribed, please. You know, share these videos, like, comment, give me tips and tricks and hints and everything, guys. Your opinion matters. I do try and read all of your comments and try and respond as much as I can to all of you guys. So yeah, man, give me more suggestions. Leave everything in the comments, man. Just tell me what you think. What should I do next? All of those. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of these things. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna leave it here for now. So the 381 now it's all done. So guys, yeah, man, if you watched up until this point, man, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, watching me, you know, do my DIY work. I really love it when you guys give me all the love and support. So guys, stay tuned for more, and we'll try and bring you more content on the car as I progress along. So shout out, guys. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.